Hello, Cancer. Welcome to your weekly reading for May 12th to the 18th. This is for Cancer, Sun, Moon, and Rising. And yeah, we're going to jump right into it. Cancer, this is going to be a really big week, and you're really going to feel it. So, hey, I hope you're excited. You got one more month left until we get Jupiter in your sign. In fact, actually, from this point forward, only a few weeks, which I talked about last week, and even your monthly forecast. But look, there's fewer aspects, as you can see, this week than we've had normally. Remember, February, March, April was bonkers. But these aspects are pretty mighty, okay? This is going to definitely be a week of endings for fated new beginnings and a lot of shadow work and healing if you choose. Now, like every week, I'm going to go over some things that we didn't discuss in your monthly forecast. I'm going to tell you some things that probably no one else will, because there are some big messages. And like, I looked at some of the asteroids and planetoids, like, Cancer's really gonna feel this. All right, so listen, let's just dive right in. We are kicking this week off with a full moon in Scorpio, all right? But I dropped these forecasts a little bit earlier than the actual week. And remember, with any full moon, especially you, right? The moon rules you, especially you, Cancer. Anytime you have a full moon, you're gonna feel it days before, you're gonna feel it days after. You're really going to feel this one over the weekend, because we basically have this T-square with the, moon in Scorpio, Mercury in Taurus, squaring Pluto in Aquarius. You're going to feel all that. All right. So I will explain as we move along, but this full moon, Cancer, again, just know you may start feeling it a little bit earlier, and just be mindful about your communication with friendships, as well as your networks, groups you belong to, things like that, okay? And there's going to be relationships and money matters. That's going to be a big theme for you this week that you may start feeling over the weekend. Now, this full moon on May 12th, it's happening around 1 p.m. It's happening at 1 p.m. my time, Eastern Standard Time. Convert that to wherever you live in the world. That's my time, Brooklyn time. It's at 22 degrees. So, as I said, your monthly forecast, this full moon has a little bit of intensity. It's a full moon, so emotional intensity. Again, the moon is your ruler, and we're talking about Scorpio energy. And so, yes, can be pretty emotional. However, it can be this intense passion. It's how you use it, right? This is definitely going to be, it's a full moon. So what are full moons? Endings, completions, turning points. But the biggest theme for this full moon would be truth coming to light. All right. And that's because it's a Pluto ruled full moon. And remember, Pluto is a ruler of the underworld. Pluto is so out there, and the solar system didn't even get any light from the sun. And that's why we say the underworld. That's why I always say it's got depth. There's, it's like the Mariana Trenches. You can't see anything down there. Right? So you got to bring things up, bring things to the surface. And that's what's going to happen. Okay. Over this full moon, things are going to be illuminated. That's what full moons do anyway, but it's a Pluto ruled full moon. So things are definitely going to be illuminated. And yeah, it can be secrets, and it can be revelations. It can be maybe confessions. Maybe it's you, or maybe it's someone within your world, because this is happening in Scorpio that rules your fifth house. So Cancer, what does that mean for you? So fifth house is great. I love the fifth house. The fifth house is joy and pleasure. It's family, it's children, it's romance, it's true love, it's creativity, it's creative projects, it's self-expression. And so, and sex, okay? Listen, just one thing for you, Cancer, Scorpio, right, is the ruler of the eighth house, right? And so that's also sex. And you have a Scorpio full moon in your fifth house of so you got the two houses of like procreation and intimacy and sex, like really activated over this weekend. Remember, Pluto is in Aquarius in your eighth house, and this is a Pluto ruled full moon. So you see how it's there's twice the emphasis here on that for you. But anyway, Pluto is also transformation. That's the biggest thing, okay? Remember, I did say this is a 22-degree full moon in Scorpio. It just happens to be, the Sabian symbol just happens to be metamorphosis, right? Animal to spirit. But you can think, caterpillar to butterfly, right? Or phoenix rising from the ashes. That's what this is. It's great transformation, great change. Now, two things here. It is at 22 degrees. 22, as we know, is a master number. And so for many of you, might be your life path number. 22 is just, it's a deep connection with the ether. It's you being this force to be reckoned with, unlimited potential. 22 is the master builder. So creativity, leadership, tenacity, discipline, the right confidence to bring your dreams to reality. That's being the builder, right? The engineer of your life journey. Now, what are the chances? Sheer coincidence. Of course, as we know, coincidence is just a wink from the universe. 22 degrees in astrology is the Capricorn degree, the cardinal degree. The hardworking, disciplined, tenacious leadership degree. What are the chances, right? You can even break 22 down to 4. 2 plus 2 equals 4, right? Structure. Hardworking, discipline, foundation building. So you see a really big theme happening here because Capricorn is Saturn ruled. And remember, Saturn is karma and life lessons. And Saturn is with the North Node right now. So, couple things here. Again, this is your 5th house where there is something coming to light. It's something coming within you as well. And remember when I said secrets and revelations, it just might be you having this huge moment of clarity, this insight that has to do with the 5th house, like joy and pleasure and true love and romance and creativity, everything I just mentioned earlier. But you throw Capricorn energy in the mix, you being a cardinal sign like Capricorn, and trust me, I'm going to tell you a little bit more that only affects you, Cancer. That's why I want you to pay attention to this Capricorn energy. But first, a Capricorn, by the way, is your opposite sign. So it rules partnerships and relationships. And this Scorpio full moon, relationships, relationship building, as well as money, finances, investments, inheritance. So money, partnerships, big theme. The entire week, you're going to feel this full moon the entire week. And you're going to feel these aspects that are happening on the 18th this entire week. We'll get to that later. But I want you to think about 6 months ago. All right, Cancer? I want you to think about November 1st, 2024, when we had the corresponding new moon in Scorpio, while Pluto was in Capricorn. That's right. Pluto was in Capricorn. It was at 29 degrees, critical degree, before moving into Aquarius. So what happened around that time for you? Think about the first 2 weeks of November, even the entire month if you want to, okay? Because here's the climax. Here's the turning point. Now, Capricorn rules your 7th house of partnerships, relationships, marriage, legal matters, one-on-one commitments. So it can be work related. It can be love related. It can be your relationship with your babysitter, your lawyer, your publicist. It does not matter. Think one-on-one, okay? Wedding planner. Anyway, think about that time, okay? Now, we're in Taurus season. And so that means the sun is in Taurus and it's opposite the moon right now. Remember, the moon reflects the light from the sun. So there's an element of the fact that Taurus rules your 11th house. Again, something with friendships or your community, benefactors, allies. That's all part of the 11th house. Your squad, your LinkedIn community, whatever resonates with you. But the 11th house is also your future hopes and wishes and dreams and goals and long-term commitments. There you go. So you got that highlighted here. All right. Now, like I said, Taurus and Scorpio, they actually are the signs that rule the money houses and a level of relationships. So again, relationships and money, big themes for this full moon, especially for you. Okay? And joy and pleasure and even recreation. Okay? So money, finances, investments, inheritance, investors, all of that's on the table. Yeah? And sure, remember, we've got that Uranus kazimi I told you last week in your monthly forecast. It's so strong, it only happens once a year. It's going to be opposite the full moon, so you're going to feel it here too. And what is Uranus? It's the unexpected and the great awakener, and it's just change, right? So this is going to be a pivotal full moon for you in a really big way. You're a fellow water sign like Scorpio, all right? And so vibrate at a high frequency. You know that I'm going to say that, and you know I'm going to say it again for a couple of these aspects that are happening, because remember, there's depth and intensity with this full moon, all right? And so you want to be at that high frequency and let things go. That's what full moons are. They're portals for you to let things go, okay? To let things come to light too. And I say vibrate at high frequency around this time, especially because 22 degrees. Listen, it's not always a cakewalk. It's not an easy degree. And so this is a full moon to let things go for your transformation. And when I say let things go, patterns, habits, relationships, jobs, the way you think about relationships, the think of money or creative projects. All right. But when I say let things go, it's things that no longer serve you well. Okay. Remember, the death card in tarot is attributed to Scorpio. So transformation, out with the old, in with the new. Use this full moon to let things go that you even subconsciously know. That's the moon, right? Things that may be holding you back, let it go, right? And so it's all about knowing your truth around this time. Now, the other thing is that, like I said, the moon being opposite Uranus, the great awakener, change, it's breakthrough. Uranus is breakthrough and freedom. So there's a sense of something liberating here. Use it, all right? I always say use these aspects. Don't let them use you. And yes, there can be an element of unexpected announcements or shocking surprises, especially maybe with home and family and loved ones or a female figure. But it can be like, remember, it's in your fifth house. It could be like your daughter saying, hey, I'm pregnant, right? And so it's just ending one phase, beginning this new phase. But there will be this rebellious side inside you, all right? Inside you, because Uranus is revolution, Pluto in Aquarius is revolution. So there may be something inside you where you're ready to like, oh, okay, I gotta change this about my life. And whoosh, I feel so much better, all right? Now, here's the thing. You throw in Mercury square Pluto on that same day. I'm not going to go too much into it. I talked about it in your monthly forecast, but remember what I said back then? You work with this energy, this square. Look at what's waiting for you in 2 weeks. Okay, so just look back to that. Mercury's communication, by the way, it's the mind. Mercury's the mind, right? Pluto is very psychological. Remember, deep. We're going deep. Has that depth. Very forensic. Okay, so this is all part of you going within for your transformation and your growth. Okay, and you can go really deep here. Yeah, because this aspect is increasing the probability of things coming to the surface, of revelations, of secrets being revealed, of digging deep to get to the bottom of these things inside you. So any of that could be relevant for you. Every Cancer is different. You're all going to feel a different way. And with Uranus, you just never know, right? So don't be afraid to let things come to the surface, okay? Be the phoenix rising from the ashes. But let things go. And listen, Cancer, I tell you all the time, you're one of the most intuitive signs, right? Signs. It's a matter of just tapping into that intuition. And it's a full moon in Scorpio. Scorpio is also very intuitive. The moon is intuition. So there's this high level of trusting your gut instincts and doing shadow work as you would with a Pluto ruled, Scorpio full moon. And the reason I'm going to just let you know about this Mercury square Pluto, just because it's a square, right? And you got two fixed signs. So there can be a little bit of like inflexibility. Remember, Mercury is in Taurus too. So, and when I say inflexibility, maybe a little bit resistance, especially in thinking, and it can be extreme. That's what Pluto, does with Mercury. There can be fighting words or thoughts, even power struggles. There can be jealousy, love, work, family, wherever it resonates for you. Okay. Wherever it resonates for you. It can be very The Proposal, 50 Shades of Grey. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. Just think about what you need to inspect around this time, because Mercury square Pluto is a little bit too much control. It's too much. I need too much power. That's what Mercury square Pluto is, especially with relationships and money. All right. Remember, we are in Taurus season, and Mercury is in Taurus, and Taurus is a finance sign. All right. The other thing is, it's really funny. This is like troll energy, like internet trolls, right? Because it is Mercury that rules the third house of the internet. But then this is an aspect where the whole thing is, it's just like, I refuse to do shadow work. I'm always right. I'm not going to change. I'm going to put all my darkness on social media, in chat rooms or social media comments, whatever it is. Remember, trolls are in the shadows. They stay hidden. Remember, I talked about that darkness with Pluto here. Even bots are, on the rampant. But anyway, just remember, listen, the reason why I'm really, really harping on this for you is, Mercury, does rule the third house. But remember what I said. Mercury's in Taurus, in your 11th house, community, groups, all of that. But 11th house is also social media. So, and it's a Scorpio full moon. Scorpio, the scorpion, it has a stinger. All right. So with this full moon, keep your stingers in. If there's someone trolling you online or even in person, be responsive, not reactive. Take the high road. You are on a karmic journey. You create your path. You create your reality. Use this aspect to empower yourself, to feel empowered. It's great for leadership and focus and concentration on your path or your creative projects, your empowerment. Remember, I told you this is an aspect that's very sharp and intuitive and like psychic, and you know what I mean? It's a great, great aspect that also gives you a really good BS filter. Like, no one can deceive you when you use this aspect, and you got to trust your intuition. And I think you're going to be fine. Remember, you got the North Node in Pisces, right? With Saturn in your 9th house of spirituality and higher mind and wisdom. But remember, this is just like a little bit of a test. Remember, karmic lessons, right? So you got to get tested to see if you pass. And Saturn, that's what he does. He gives you this little test. So just continue to vibrate at the high frequency and be the best version of yourself. And when I say high frequency, love, compassion, gratitude, kindness. You're going to be at a 10. You're always at a 10. You're Cancer. And stay there, because people may try to bring you down into their low frequency around this time. Okay? No. What do? What do I tell you to do? All the time. Don't let anyone take your power. Don't stoop to their level, but bring them out. Okay? It means they need help. They're struggling. You know what I mean? And so that's karma. That's frequency. That's the greater good. So always be the best version of yourself. All right. I talked about shadow work. Yeah. Look at what's happening over on the 18th. And again, remember, you got Saturn with the North Node, right? But then you also got Pluto retrograde. Remember, transformation comes from within, and it's in your 8th house of transformation. You got Jupiter squaring the nodes. You got Jupiter sextile Chiron. You feel these Jupiter aspects and even Pluto retrograde and Saturn with the North Node. You've been feeling it since May. But remember, this is when they perfect. So the closer you get to this date, you get stronger and stronger and stronger as this ramp up. And don't forget, you do have, and this is why you should, this is, okay. You still remember this, the North Node is in Pisces, yeah? But the South Node is in Virgo, right? And what did I say what that is? That's getting rid of and eliminating any of that self-critical, hard on yourself, perfectionist, that type of energy anyway. So don't be afraid to go deep. Don't be afraid to go deep because, Virgo does rule your third house of communication. And so there may be something here with the throat chakra. There may be something here with the way that you communicate or that you're thinking about something. Remember, Virgo is Mercury ruled too of the mind. So there may be something here that it's just like, okay, I don't want to think this way anymore. This is not me. There's this new me. And I'm leaving all these lower energy frequencies into this high energy path. All right. So again, be in touch with your emotions, and it's okay to cry. It's okay to cry. It's okay to shout, right? It's okay to do the Kevin Bacon Footloose dance, that angry, like, ah. Okay? We're human beings. We were built with a range of emotions to feel them all. That's how we grow. That's how we grow, okay? You just don't want to get stuck in lower energy frequencies. That's all, okay? You want to make room for the amazing new things that are about to happen for you. All right. So remember, spend time in nature. That's going to help. Connect with the ether. Do some grounding. Get a massage. Treat yourself. Treat yourself. Now, we're going to talk about this more in the second spread, but this is why this is going to be such a big full moon for you. And this entire week is going to be a big one for you. It's because this full moon will be conjuncting Juno. That's right. You have not seen a Juno conjunction yet. And it's in Scorpio. So, we'll talk about it more in the second spread. But just to give you a little bit of a heads up, remember Juno, the asteroid Roman goddess of marriage, yeah? Who complements Venus, linked to Libra. Therefore, she fights for your justice when it comes to commitments, marriage, contracts, fidelity, infidelity, betrayal, legal matters, personal relationships, even wealth, right? And situationships, like I think I said that last week, love triangles, whatever you're in, Juno brings that truth and justice. And she puts a microscope on these things. And remember, this is in your fifth house, right? It's in your fifth house of romance, family, children, creative projects, maybe with a creative partner. There's something here. However, over this weekend, starting Thursday until the entire weekend, the moon will be in Capricorn, in your seventh house of partnerships and relationships and legal matters and marriage. So do you see when I say you're really going to feel this week when it comes to partnerships and relationships? Yes, 1000%. Remember, I said it's a 22-degree full moon. So you already got Capricorn involved in the first half of the week. So it's, so buckle up. And again, this is all for you. You use Juno. She's giving you power, okay, for what you're seeking, whether it's tolerance or compromise or soulmate energy. She gets to the truth of the matter, just like what the full moon is doing. Why is this a big deal? Her bringing you justice, right? But why is this a big deal? Because Juno is currently this week negotiating with the North Node in your ninth house. And that's tight. That is a tight trine. So it's beautiful. It's this effortless, auspicious, like something coming out. Very good for you. Okay. Now, why am I harping on Juno for you? Remember what I said about November 1st? Well, Juno moved into Scorpio right at that time. I think it was November 3rd, right in time, right? Remember, the new moon. You feel the effects of that new moon for a week, 2 weeks following, okay? Where it has a big charge. And it's a new moon in Scorpio. It's strong. Now, Juno then moved off into Sagittarius, did a little bit of retrograde. She just came back to Scorpio a few weeks ago. So what are the chances that she was there for you for the new moon in Scorpio, and she's come back to protect you for the full moon in Scorpio? So please use her. Please use her. This is wonderful. Okay. This is really great. And you've got the North Node again with Saturn anyway in your ninth house. Again, that's just wisdom and inner wisdom. But also, if you are here for marriage or relationships, there could be a focus on second marriage. Yeah, there could be something here. There could also be, ninth house is also legal matters as well. More with like the courts. There's something here. And again, it can be marriage. It could be divorce. Maybe there is, you have mutual agreement with your partner. You're like, okay, let's not, whatever it is. Every Cancer is going to feel this differently. It may not even be that. It just may be something with a friend. Hey, let's start this creative project. Let's quit our jobs and start this. It's whatever resonates with you, because Saturn is still with the North Node in Pisces. You're going to feel this all week. What is the structure you're building for your destiny? What's your mission statement, your purpose? Remember, Saturn's making things easy for you right now, okay? I'll tell you when he starts coming in and but right now, I told you, he's making things easy. He's with the North Node, and you just went through that Saturn North Node conjunction. That was what, like end of April. You passed, you graduated. You are becoming this bigger role model and teacher and things like that. A lot wiser, the higher mind, spirituality. Okay? Book publishing. Are you writing a book? That's part of your destiny right now. Okay? Podcasts. That's your ninth house. Travel, long distance travel, meeting someone overseas. Anyway, you got Saturn with a North Node and Ceres, right? We talked about her last week. Ceres, and I'm going to tell you something that's going to blow your mind. Ceres, so you got a 3-planet conjunction sextiling Uranus and Taurus. And again, I will talk more about this later. This is insane because remember, Uranus and Taurus is in your 11th house of your future hopes and wishes and long-term goals, long-term plans and commitments. That's Saturn, right? Remember, that's your 11th house. Aquarius rules the 11th house. Saturn is Aquarius's traditional ruler. That's why that's what it is. Okay? So Saturn and Uranus are working together right now for this new vision for you. Uranus is breakthroughs in innovation and really great at rebuilding. Yeah, I said rebuilding. I didn't say building. I said rebuilding because Saturn is stabilizing things. Yeah? But moving into Aries next week. Okay? Uranus is breakthroughs, right? Pluto in Aquarius breaks things down for your breakthrough. Neptune, which has already left Pisces and moved into Aries, Neptune, which dissolves, is now dissolving your old vision. So when I say out with the old, in with the new, your life is changing in a way that you have not. And listen, it is. And just wait till June. I think I told you I am so excited for you. This is all about your future and your new future. And I will talk more about Ceres in the second spread because let's keep going. Okay, just remember Ceres. You love Ceres, right? Because Ceres is that really strong, divine, feminine, planetoid Roman goddess of motherhood and fertility. And even listen, you have a full moon in your 5th house. What did I say? Creativity, procreation, recreation. What's the root? Create. So something new coming out of this full moon for you once you end the things that you don't need. And Ceres is all about self-care and nurturing, not only for yourself, but for others. I'm going to say something that's going to blow your mind, okay? I'll tell you now. Ceres, on May 16th, is moving into Aries, okay? Yeah. Why is that a big deal? First of all, as you know, Saturn, first time in 30 years, moving into Aries next week, joining Neptune, first time in 300 years. And Saturn is moving into a new house. Saturn's moving into your 10th house of fame. Saturn's leaving your 9th house, where Saturn's been testing you spiritually, your wisdom, inner wisdom, your higher mind, your belief system, everything that I talked about, okay? The 9th house is the house of the gods, right? And so Saturn's now moving into Aries, and now he's saying, hey, Cancer, we're moving into this new house. Neptune's already here. You got Venus here in Aries, right? All month. And so Saturn is saying, we're in this new place in your life. And now it's time to leave old structures and patterns and ways of thinking and systems behind. And if we have to do it the hard way, this is Saturn, right? And so, like I said, out with the old, in with the new. The thing about you, Cancer, when you do all the math with everything that's happening for you, you want the new. It is clear as day. You want the new. So Sirius moving into Aries is a big deal, all right? Because they're all going to be at that 0 degree point, that 1 degree point of fresh new beginnings. And the fact that Sirius moved into Pisces in February this year, just in time to join that once a lifetime 6-planet conjunction, 0 degree axis, everything back in March, right? What? With the North Node? And what? So now you got Sirius with Saturn and Neptune for basically an entire year, but you're going to feel it most like in May when they're at that, early degrees. You have to see there is this higher power at work here, helping you, steering you, guiding you, because I just told you about Juno too. And there's a couple other things. Look at my live streams, okay? I'm going to talk about Sedna. I haven't brought up Sedna yet. Sedna is the big one. The big one, okay? We'll talk about her, all right? Maybe I'll give you a preview in the second spread. But I just want to remind you, Cancer, next week, Venus trine Mars. You know what happens when those two cosmic levers get together. And because that's so strong, you're going to feel it this week. And remember, they're in your house of fame, career, and money. So you're going to feel it. And the sun will sextile Saturn for the last time in Pisces. You're feeling that this week too. So, I love y'all. Y'all are amazing. If you're a cross watcher, Cancer, if you watch for your rising or your moon, or for your sister, your child, your husband, whoever it is, okay? Your pet, goat, whatever, or crab. You're the crabs, right? Fixed signs, Taurus, Leo, Scorpio, Aquarius. You're going to feel this day the most. If you know your birth chart, okay? Your natal chart. I'm giving it a wider orb here because of Uranus. If you have any planets between 20 to 27 degrees in fixed signs that I just mentioned, or Virgo or Pisces, and I will throw in Capricorn because of what's happening. Yeah? With Saturn as well. Though you will really feel it. You will really feel it. And that Capricorn, oh my goodness, it's going to be sextiled and trined. This is based on your whole sign, but that's, oof. And remember, Moon in Capricorn from the 15th to the 18th. Now, May 17th, Mercury square Mars. You got another fixed, with Mercury, communication, okay? And the mind. I talked about this in your monthly forecast. Listen, it's another square with fixed signs, which is when that happens, a little unbudgeable, It happens once a year. It's you're gonna feel it days before, days after, just like Mercury square Pluto. All right, but this is amplifying that Uranus kazimi. That's happening in Taurus. So you got Mercury here with the Uranus kazimi. So anyway, it's penetrating. That's all. Okay. Does a friend owe you money? Cancer, do you owe someone money? Is there something here with finances or salary or income, because remember what I said, Mars is in Leo in your second house of money and things that you desire and value, and material possessions, your Nissan sedan, whatever it is, that aquarium, there's going to be things here. Second house is also self-worth and self-value. All right? Your sense of self-worth and self-value. Okay? Build that confidence now. Know your worth. Are you getting paid what you're worth? Have that confidence. You're about to have the luckiest month in your birthday season in June, when Jupiter, the planet of luck and good fortune and expansion and profit and abundance, moves into your sign for the first time in 12 years. You see everything leading up to that. Know your worth, okay? Mars is going to be like a laser this day. Remember, the lower expressions of Mars and Leo can be pride. It can be ego. It can be even reckless and weaponizing Mercury's powers, words, and thoughts. So yes, this day words can be exchanged. Tempers as well, impulsive energy, hasty, rushing through decisions, not thinking before you speak, jumping to rash conclusions. Competition, competitive energy. Okay, that's what's going to happen with Mercury square Mars. And again, you feel it days before, you feel it days after with Uranus in the mix. Unexpected too. Okay, you can use this energy though. I say it all the time. You can use these aspects. So yes, be direct, but diplomatic, and listen to others and agree to agree, because this day, everyone will feel it. And so, and when I say agree to agree, that's it. You got to trust your intuition. But this is when people can be, everyone's on the offense, right? Everyone's on the offense. And it's just like, right? And so this is where you just want to just remember that you are on a karmic journey. And when I say that, if you go on that, if you're waiting in line for that roller coaster, you're at that carnival, wherever it is, and then the ticket guy, right? He says, "Oh, I'm sorry, you can't get on this ride wearing Crocs." You're going to throw your Crocs at that person? No. What you're going to do, you're going to smile. And you're going to say, "Oh, okay, another time. And then you're going to go to another ride. And because you're going to say, thank you. Have a wonderful day. You're going to go to another ride, okay? And when you get to that ride, that ticket guy, maybe that's your soulmate. Maybe that's the babysitter you've been looking for. Maybe that's a person who you need, as you're an artist and you're the perfect description of the person that I want to draw for this painting that is going to be sold for $1 million. You can, or you get on the ride and sitting right next to you is Channing Tatum, and he says, I want you in my next movie. Whatever it is. You never know. That's the thing. You got Uranus here. And then you're on a karmic journey too. All right? So you just never know. But that's what karma does. You put your energy out there, get energy out there, you're going to receive it. So also with Mercury square Mars, I talk about Mars physicality, use this to exert energy. Do some gardening, do some weed whacking, okay? Karate, all right? Join a flash mob if they still exist. Just do something physically, all right? I talked about the solar plexus chakra, man. Fire in the belly, right? Breath of fire. Connect with your kundalini. Here's the thing. Mercury's going to be opposite Juno in Scorpio. Okay. That's why you really got to pay attention to Juno in Scorpio. There's going to be something here that you're really thinking about, or there will be words exchanged. Now, fixed signs, Taurus, Leo, Scorpio, Aquarius, Aries, Gemini, and Virgo, they're going to feel this most. If you have planets in your birth chart between 10 to 16 degrees in any of the fixed signs that I just mentioned, you're going to feel this. Now, on the 17th, May 17th, 18th, depending on where you live, remember a lot of these aspects, happen around midnight. There you go. You got the Uranus kazimi. It only happens once a year. It's rare. All right. So unless you live for the next 84 years, this is the last Uranus kazimi in Taurus in our lifetime. It's gone. It's gone. This is the last one. And remember, Uranus, and this is since 2018, Uranus has been in your 11th house, shaking things up in terms of your future hopes, your future wishes, your long-term goals and plans, and even commitments and friendships, your social network groups you belong to, maybe even social media. I told you that's part of the 11th house too. Maybe even a third marriage. I mean, that's 11th house. 11th house basically like networking, support system, things like that. Okay. And so why is this such a big deal that Uranus is leaving? Uranus, this is the last one, and moving into Gemini in July. Oh, because Uranus does a gazillion times better in Gemini than it does in Taurus. So look forward to that. Okay. But Uranus is basically detriment in Taurus. So, here's the thing. This is very stimulating, all right? The Uranus kazimi, the sun conjuncting Uranus, yeah, it's unpredictable, but it's more about you breaking things down for your breakthrough, or just having a breakthrough, or just shaking things up. And I've told you many times about this. Uranus is the great awakener, freedom, okay? Freeing yourself, breaking free from routine. That's what Uranus wants you to do, wants you to have your breakthrough. And remember, Uranus, very restless, revolutionary, innovation, change, period. Uranus wants change. But because Uranus is the unexpected, around this time, you can expect very, very high chances of sudden, unexpected change. It can be the Tower card, or it can be the Wheel of Fortune. It's up to you. How are you going to vibrate? Remember, you use this. You use this to have your breakthrough. Break free from something that you know that's like, it's overdue. It's overdue. I got to shake things up. I got to shake things up to have my breakthrough. Okay? And so there's something here. Again, remember, the Great Awakener. Now, the great thing is, it is at 27 degrees. We love that. 27 degrees, as we know, is a 9. We talked about the number 9. Right? Now, 27 degrees is it's a mutable degree, all right? So very adapting, it's a Gemini degree. Why is this important? Because this is the degree of communication, of curiosity, of learning, and being very open to new experiences. Which is why, with the fact that you've got Jupiter in Gemini, please pay attention to what I'm about to tell you about Jupiter. B, this is why I believe it's going to be you that has that breakthrough. All right? Remember, you're in the window of Venus trine Mars as we speak, of Sun sextile Saturn as we speak. Okay? That's happening in just a few days. Now, Jupiter square the nodes. Listen, I told you, I don't think I talked about this. You've got Jupiter squaring North Node, Pisces, Virgo, South Node. Jupiter is Jove, king of the gods, optimism. As you know, Jupiter is exalted in your sign. And Jupiter always squeezes something really good out of an aspect. So what is this? You're already feeling it. Remember that. Remember, you got the North Node in your 9th house and the South Node in your 3rd house. So there's something here with learning, teaching, communication, but also higher mind, spirituality, but also publishing and writing, and also travel, whether short distance, whether long distance. But either way, this is Jupiter. This is a great fated opportunity that's happening right now for you, with the potential to go big, to expand, to have good luck and fortune around. But most importantly of all, change, especially your perspective. Okay? especially your perspective, because Jupiter is the native ruler of the ninth house. What did I just say? Jupiter, Jove, king of the gods. What did I tell you earlier? The ninth house, house of the gods, right? You've got the north node in your ninth house, okay? Your perspective, there's going to be a big shift that you're just going to feel naturally and gradually. Yeah. And here's the thing. I told you you're going to start feeling in the beginning of May. You could have already started. You're probably in it in your expanding phase, or it's going to hit about this time and things just start expanding for you. But you got to make room. You got to let things go with this full moon. Okay. Let things illuminate. I mean, also put yourself out there. It's the karmic note of fate. We're the planet of luck and wisdom and growth and expansion. That's why I say when you vibrate at that frequency, you might be sitting next to Channing Tatum on a circus ride. So just also remember, Jupiter is faith. Jupiter's faith. And you got Jupiter sextile Chiron. And Aries, what did we talk about last week? Jupiter is helping you here. Chiron is in Aries. All right. So Chiron, remember, all about those deep wounds, right? Where you feel the most vulnerable. Jupiter is helping you clear those wounds and unblocking chakras, things like that. Bringing opportunities for growth and expansion where you do feel the most vulnerable. In your 10th house of career and fame and your reputation. So it doesn't even matter if you're not here for career or not, or if you're working or not, if you're, retired, whatever you're exerting your energy into that you want to be known for. This is what I talked about last week for you, Cancer. Is there anything that you're telling yourself that, oh, I'm not good enough for this, or I can't do this, or da-da-da? No, you're healing now. You're leaving it with this full moon in Scorpio energy too, because Jupiter is in Gemini. That is your 12th house of the subconscious, of spirituality and healing and intuition. And the lower expressions of the 12th house is self-sabotage. Okay? And you got Chiron here with Jupiter. And so there's something here. If, again, you are telling yourself, oh, I'm not good enough, or I can't do this, or nothing happens for me, or it is getting rid of those energies now because Jupiter is helping in enormous ways. Enormous, all right? Because remember, you are. And what did I just say? Jupiter is faith. You got to believe in yourself, and you got to believe it. All right? Again, I think Saturn in the North Node in Pisces is helping you in your 9th house. So, last thing, Eris, okay? Remember, Eris is right on Chiron. I talked about this a few weeks ago. Eris, basically Mars' sister, okay? The goddess warrior, who is kind of like Uranus, kind of unpredictable, but warrior, right? Conjuncting Chiron, it's been 54 years. So this is happening here at 10th house. Again, we'll talk about in the second spread, but I'm here for you, Cancer. I want the best for you. And again, you've got so much happening right now that's so amazing for you right now. Again, just the Saturn sextile Uranus, please, just know that things are happening for you. And you may even see yourself doing these little breakthroughs, little breakthroughs. Really wonderful. Okay, so that's it. Let's get started. All right. And also look at my live streams. I talk about a lot of things that I don't have time to in, your forecast because I run out of time. I'm just like, well, let me do a time check now. Okay, yeah, we got to go. Look at the last one I did, okay? And that's why I do predictions too. I go over the ones that I made that, and some announcements. And I have a big announcement. I made a big announcement in my last live stream, okay? I'm going to look at one more thing. Yeah. You do have Moon conjuncting Pluto too as well. In Aquarius. That's going to happen on Sunday. So Sunday's there is going to be an intensity around that time for you too, okay? The Moon is your ruler and it's conjuncting Pluto. And that's in Aquarius in your 8th house of death and rebirth and transformation and wealth. Let's see what's... second spread, we'll talk about it. Oh, but if you wanted to know who who's going to feel these aspects on the 18th the most? Everyone. All the modalities are activated. But if you want to focus on that Uranus kazimi, it would be all the fixed signs that's going to feel that the most. And if you know your birth chart, if you have planets between 24 to 29 degrees in fixed signs, or Pisces or Virgo, or if you have 0 to 5 degrees in Aquarius or Aries, you will feel this day the most. And any of those, you can give it a little bit of a wider degree, 1 degree either way. Okay. Let's get started, Cancer, Sun, Moon, and Rising for May 12th to the 18th. Okay, Cancer, y'all are amazing. I love y'all. Listen, I do a traditional occultic cross spread, offers the best overview, and if we need to pull clarifiers, you know that we will. And this for a weekly reading, this is the best. Come on, this is really great. You see, I got a Venus flytrap. It was on sale. I love it. Cancer, I love y'all. Y'all are amazing. Let's see what we got here. Okay, let's get down to it. Okay, yeah. There's going to be some things that you're going to have to let go. This is going to be the biggest week of doing shadow work and letting things go. And what did I say about partnerships and relationships? An emphasis there. Well, this is why I do this. This just affirms astrology, I told you, but well, we're going to pull some clarifiers. You got that picture one. So like I said, y'all are already starting something new. I wouldn't be surprised. If you already, remember, you had that new moon in Taurus that entire week where I told you to plant seeds. It's fertile ground for you and your 11th house of your future hopes and wishes and dreams. You got the page ones. So a lot of y'all are moving into something really wonderful. Okay. This is someone who can turn that desert landscape into this lush, verdant garden of his passions. That's how committed he is. Because look at the leaves sprouting from the wand. He got 2 hands on that wand are your passions. Period, right? Ambitions. What are your ambitions? Also, career here. But remember, there's a page. Something new. There's something inside you stirring. And for a lot of y'all, yes, you've already moved into something new, or you will. Yeah. Now, you got the 5 of Cups in the heart of your spread. Okay. Remember, it's a weekly reading. Remember, full moon in Scorpio. What I say, you're really going to feel it. What is this card? Mars in Scorpio. Okay. It is Scorpio. And so what did I say? Out with the old, in with the new. Out with the old, in with the new. You've got to let some things go. He's not. He's looking at the spilled cups. Okay? You're going to drink that wine that's spilled. You can't do anything about it. It's spilled. What you can do is look. It's look away. Look toward the future. Look at what you got. You got 2 cups. Referencing the 2 of Cups. All you got to do is let the past go. All you have to do is let the past go. Okay? Past and history, 2 different things. Make your past history and learn anything that may happen this week to empower you moving forward, because you pick up those cups, you cross the bridge, you go into your amazing mansion castle here where Channing Tatum is like, okay, here's the contract for the movie I'm gonna put you in, or the, book you're writing, or whatever you want. It doesn't have to be him. It can be Cillian Murphy or, Meryl Streep. It doesn't matter. All I'm saying is this bridge connects the past to the future. Okay. You see the water literally going under the bridge. So there's something here that may happen, but you're going to have to let go. Okay? That's all it is. And that's what I told you what the full moon is anyway. But look at what's happening. Like, you got the devil. What I say about Capricorn energy, the devil is Capricorn. And I said, you're going to be feeling that all week. That right from the full moon for all week when the moon goes into Capricorn, your 7th house of partnerships and relationships. You see the 2 people from the Lover's card here chained to the devil. What is something that you're not breaking free from that you got to break free from? Okay. And remember, this can be love. It can be career. It can be whatever resonates with you. But the devil represents everything that you think that the devil would represent, which is vices, obsessions, bad behavior, pessimistic thinking, holding on to old patterns. Yeah. It's also, addictions and vices, everything like that. Everything like that. Okay. Now, here's the great news, though. Here's the great news. For a lot of y'all, that was you. Okay. That was you that kicked over the cups. That's your attempt to break free. And you're like, okay, but if you're going to do that, you got to do it with confidence. You can't kick over the cups and say, I'm breaking free. But then, 20 seconds later, just like, oh, do I regret that? Oh, I shouldn't have done that. These are cups, your intuition, cups, your emotions. You got to be trusting your emotions. What I say, trust your intuition, your emotions, and explore them. Know them. Okay? To know what you want, they can break free for it. They can break free. They're chained to the devil. They can break free. The chains are loose. In order to break free, you got to know what the chains are. And then you break free. But for some of y'all are breaking free, but y'all are like, did I, And remember, Scorpio rules your 5th house of joy, pleasure, love, romance, true love, family, children, creativity, creative projects, hobbies, sex. And okay, so in King of Pentacles in your crown, 6 of Wands. You know you're good, but there's a part of you that just needs to let something go and do that shadow work. With that combination, do that shadow work. But again, a lot of y'all may have this week will be ending something. You got to do it with confidence, but you got to trust your intuition to ask yourself, is this the thing that I got to let go? You got the King of Pentacles, the richest king, who is Taurus. Look at his throne. You see the bull, the symbols of Taurus here. Okay, so this is your physical realm. This is a huge protector. He's a huge protector, provider. He's rich. AF. Okay? You got your mind's in the right place because it's not just about being rich. It's wealth. It's wealth. What I say this week it's a lot of themes about wealth and wealth building. But there's that confidence. Look at his hand over the pentacle. That's ownership. Unlike the Queen of Pentacles, which is, she's got it like, giving. But this is ownership. This is confidence. But again, he takes care of others. And there's a sense of you wanting that. But you're Cancer anyway. That's what you do anyway. Use it. Use it. Mind over matter. This is what you want. Put yourself on that timeline. Okay. And a lot of y'all are actually in a position where it's going to be happening this week, where it's going to be on your mind, but there is still something that you still have to let go. Look, you got the 6 of Wands. You're good. You're fine. You're great. You know it. You know deep down inside what you want. You're going for it and you're being recognized. This is a card of recognition, honors, achievements. What I say, you got 3 planets and an asteroid in your 10th house of fame and career and your reputation. That's what this is. Mm-hmm. Leo as well, right? This card, Jupiter and Leo. So it's a Leo card, which, remember, I said is your self-worth and self-value. So you know that this is all about rising above and being recognized and taking that inspired action for all of that. Let's go. Let's do it, right? Because you hold on to that. You keep going back. You got that 8 of Swords in your future. That can be that trap. Again, there's something here where, remember what I said about the fact that you do have Jupiter in your 12th house. Sometimes that's not easy. 12th house, like I said, is self-sabotage. But you got Chiron with Jupiter. So there may be something this week where you do have to really go deep to heal. Okay? Remember, 12th house, lower expression can be self-sabotage. And we call this a self-victim card. She put herself here. All right. She put herself here. So just think about that. Think about, is there anything? Look, but the thing is, her feet are free. She can walk out anytime she wants. She's surrounded by swords. She can cut off the bind and all of that. Just, you know, yeah. So it's up to you. It's up to you. Where do you want to be, right? Where do you want to be? And so there is an element of, there's just something here that may happen also that you didn't expect. And it's like, uh-oh, right? But it's something that they're saying, like, you actually had to let it go. Because look at what's happening here. And then you have this progression. And then it's like, what happened? Why are we stuck? Right? You have this amazing progression. It's like, And so don't hold on to the past. Just remember, the universe is always on your side. Remember just what's happening in June, right? So the one thing that I did say in the live stream is, we always have a tendency to just at first reject the unfamiliar, right? Sometimes we don't know it's the best thing for us. And so just stay with your emotions and trust your intuition, and just don't get to a place where, because it could also be with the aspects this week, it can be other people. Like, remember, I talked about the trolls, right? It can be real that put you in this space, all right? Someone that's holding you back. And again, it can be, you ask who it is. Was it your boss? You got a toxic boss? Is it, toxic colleague? Is it's up to you. Well, let's go. Cancer. Oh my goodness, this is going to be a long one. Listen to this. If you like this reading, by the way, it would be great. If you like, subscribe, leave comments. Tell me what's going on. We'll pull some clarifiers. What I say. You just gotta let that thing go. I probably said it 14 times. Out with the old, in with the new. You gotta let things go, and you gotta do some shadow work. There's your affirmation. You got the Hermit. Do that shadow work. What do you gotta let go? The Hermit is Virgo, by the way. What I say, South Node in Virgo, where you let things go. You gotta let things go. That's self-critical. That's that energy. Yeah, being hard on yourself. Hermit. This isn't just going within. This is doing soul searching. You got the North Node in your 9th house. That's deep. Yeah? You got Jupiter and Gemini in your 12th house. That's deep. Do it. This card's all gray. Gray and Tarot's wisdom. All right? So in order to know the future that you want, you got to go deep. You got to trust yourself. 7 of Wands. If you're a crotch watcher, you've seen this little guy come up pretty much in every... Yeah. There's going to be, like I said... With these squares, that they're speed bumps. That's all they are. You work with the energies, you're going to be fine. There's going to be some resistance with someone not seeing eye to eye. Might be a Leo. Might be a Leo rising, Leo moon. Another Leo card. Yeah, you have the 6 of Wands, 7 of Wands. But this is someone that's firmly standing their ground in their external factors area. Now, when you look at the big picture, there is a sense of it might be you being defensive, not listening to people, not being receptive, okay? But the bigger energy I get, it is someone else that's making things a little, You know what you want. Oh gosh, all that sunlight came through. You can't even see the cards. Let me put this here and block that light. Oh my gosh, that was the weirdest laugh. Okay, there you go. Okay. You got the you got the Lovers here. Yeah, what'd I say? Partnerships, relationships. Big theme for you this week. With that moon in Capricorn, with Juno, with Ceres. We're going to talk about that. We'll talk about it. You got an archangel here, okay? But remember, the biggest thing, it comes down to you. What do you want? It's about your choice. It's a Gemini card. Remember, Gemini. You got Jupiter there. Anyway, let me show you something here. What I say earlier. Okay? You got the Devil, right? Card 15, 1 + 5 = 6. Referencing the Lovers card. We'll call them Adam and Eve. This is deep partnerships and relationships, as I said, that you're going to feel this week. Yeah. So you know what you want. You're hoping for it. But what's holding you back? You get through these tests, you're good. You're good. You got the Ace of Pentacles in your final outcome. There's something new coming your way. New path, golden pathway, in fact. Literally, you see the golden pathway here in this card. The archway, that's a gateway. This is an ace that's new beginning. New beginning. New opportunity coming through for you. So like I said, whatever happens, if something happens unexpected and you're like, oh no, how do you know it wasn't the best thing for you? Look at what's on the other side. You keep looking in the back, you're not even going to see that. You've got to move forward, okay? Ace of Pentacles, biggest pentacle in the deck. You see the 5-pointed star here? It's linked to the vault of heaven, the golden ratio, it's everything. It's money, it's wealth. It's a new path opening up for you. The hand of spirit offering it to you. And remember, if you're not even here for money, pentacles are your physical reality. Like I said, you want that Nissan sedan? It's coming. You got it right there. You want that house by the igloo? That's right there. Whatever you want in your physical realm. Physical world. All right. So I don't even think you need any clarifiers. Listen, Cancer, thanks so much. Y'all are amazing. Second spread. Yeah, we are going to go deep. Oh gosh. Yeah, we'll talk about the asteroids, planetoids. I'm going to do a spread on the full moon alone. I'm going to isolate that on top of other cards I'm going to pull. Oh my gosh. We got a golden triangle too. Okay. I'm going to tell you, we're going to talk about that next week. Yes, we'll go deeper into all these amazing things opening up for you. Venus, trine Mars, Sun, sextile Saturn. As we know, Saturn moves into Aries. That's really big, but we got to let things go. We have to okay? You got to do some work here. You got to do some shadow work. And look at that. Look at that. Look at, look at this. Look at this. Look at that. So anyway, Cancer, y'all are amazing. If you like this reading, it would be great if you like, subscribe, leave comments. Tell me what's going on. And yeah, tier 3 members, you know where to find the second link. Oh my gosh. Okay, I gotta let you go. I might even clarify the 8 of Swords. Cancer, y'all are amazing. I'll see you next week. Thanks so much. All right, bye-bye.